watching Numbskull News, and today let's talk about the playoffs. Well, people have a problem. Certain folks got blown out. They don't talk about everybody getting blown out. Talk about SMU. Talk about Indiana. And how the CFP just screwed up by putting those teams in. See, shouldn't have put them in. Well, first of all, let's look at this crap. Look, Penn State beats the living hell out of SMU. There's no doubt. Indiana got controlled pretty well. Notre Dame was kind of like a cat, hitting a freaking bug on the floor. Just pop, pop, pop. A little bit of that going on. But all these dumb sons of bitches, what they don't want to talk about. Ohio State. Talking about ESPN, Mr. Feinbaum, and a whole host of others. They don't want to talk about Tennessee getting their freaking doors blown off by Ohio State. And I'm sorry, Volunteer fans. I told y'all that was going to happen. Ohio State's for real. I don't give a damn they lost to Michigan. It's only the biggest rivalry in all of college sports. Ohio State versus Michigan. Deal with it, SEC fans. That's the freaking truth. It's not just in the ratings. These teams go at it big time. And the whole, the trope of, throw the records out when these two match up. Well, yeah, you can throw the damn records out. I don't care that Michigan was 7-5. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because either one of those teams can beat each other. It's just the truth. They're built to beat each other. But Tennessee, outside of Alabama, which, I'm sorry, this year's not as big a deal of a win as it usually is. Tennessee played nobody. Nobody of substance. I mean, look, they beat Alabama. Okay. But were they that much more worthy than Miami? You don't think Miami could have went in there and gotten embarrassed too? A lot of teams are going to go to the shoe and get their ass handed to them. That's the nature of Ohio State. Most people go to Tuscaloosa and get their asses handed to them. Hey, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. Most people are going to go into Georgia here. They're going to go to Athens and they're going to get pistol whipped all over the field. It's the way it is sometimes. That doesn't mean you're not a good team. That's just a really, really difficult place to play football. And not to mention, you're going against a team that's, chocked full of NFL talent. More so than Tennessee. Ohio State is. I can tell you that right the hell now. I don't have to look at a scouting report of who's going to get drafted where. And I don't have to look at any of that. I just know. It's just, is there oxygen in the air? Is there some nitrogen in the air? Yes. Yes. It's just fact. Ohio State out-recruits damn near everybody. And they develop NFL talent. A shit ton of it. And yes, Alabama does as well. Didn't help them this year, but they do. More so than Tennessee. Tennessee, hey, they put people in NFL every year. It's a great program. It really is. It's a blue blood program. They get big time ratings. They do. But ratings ain't going to help you win a playoff game. Not in the shoe, not against Ohio State. And they got lit up. So what is this bullshit? Why do we have Boise State in? Well, because you need G5s involved. All right, this is why the Big Ten and the SEC, they're not going to go on and do their own thing and cut everybody else out. And media partners don't really want them to. They don't want to alienate other people because the big time ratings that they get, well, that's not all SEC eyeballs. That's not all Big Ten eyeballs. That's college football fans in general. You got Big 12 people watching those games. You got ACC people watching those games. And you have G5 fans that are watching, Alabama versus Georgia. Or they're watching Ohio State versus Michigan. Whenever there's a huge matchup, they're watching Texas versus Oklahoma. They watch the big matchups. But if you're going to piss everybody else off who's not a direct SEC or Big Ten fan, well, then those numbers are going to come down. They're still going to get great ratings. They won't get what they currently get. You need everybody else. You can't be the heel that destroys college football. That's what the SEC and the Big Ten would be. So go on and do your own thing. See what that does for you in the long haul. It won't be good. It won't be good. So I'm tired of hearing that dumbass threat. And yes, Boise State earned their way in. So did Indiana. It ain't about who deserves. I get tired of it, like Curve Herbster. It ain't about who deserves. No. They earned it. They earned it. Stop whining and arguing and being a little bitch when it comes to the bottom of a 12-team playoff, who's in and who's out. Stop sitting there talking about the bubble teams. No one gives a shit. NCAA tournament. If your team doesn't make it because they didn't get the 64th spot, tough shit. Win a few more games. Win a couple more games. And then you can bitch. But don't sit there and like, we should have been the 64th team. We're better than that 64th team. Well, it doesn't really matter when you're at that point, when you're the 64th team. When you're the bottom seed. Or you're lucky. It's just a coin flip at that point. Be a better team. Have a better regular season. So everyone wanting to, talk about Alabama. Do better. Don't lose to Vanderbilt. Don't get your ass handed to you in Norman 24-3 by the Sooners. Don't do that. Because for all the good that you did, for all the great games that you won, when you have shit on your record, that spatters onto the good stuff you did. It's hard to overlook. So don't piss and moan because you didn't get the 12th spot or you didn't get the 11th spot. Fuck you at that point. Because look, the top teams are in. Oregon's in. They got that right, didn't they? Texas was in. Georgia was in. They got that right. Notre Dame, one loss. They earned their spot in. You going to piss and moan about Penn State? You're not. They did put Tennessee in, even though I wouldn't have, but they did. So what are you bitching about? What are you bitching about? That you weren't the 11th seed? You weren't the 12th seed? Well, screw you. Well, SMU got in. They shouldn't have got in. Clemson probably shouldn't have got in. They don't deserve to get in. Just because they're the ACC champ. ACC sucks. Well, they didn't win a playoff game. They're both out. You got that. But, I don't know that Alabama beats Texas. I don't know that Alabama beats Penn State. And let me tell you something. If you can get your ass handed to you in Norman, you could damn sure get your ass handed to you by the Nittany Lions, who are far better than Oklahoma. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that are tired of these people bitching and wailing and moaning. I get tired of it too. Not when it's it's a 12-team playoff. You're going to get the top 6 in. You're going to get the top 8. Let's just give it 8. You're going to give to the top 8. You're going to double what this thing has been. A 4-team playoff. You're going to get the next 4 best teams. That's pretty easy. To get the top 8 teams, that's pretty easy. Who are the next 4? The third set of 4? Does it really matter? Do you just have to have one more SEC team? Stop your stop your pissing and moaning. It doesn't matter at all. Like, I don't give a damn about the last dozen or 2 dozen NCAA teams that get in. I don't care about the handful of teams, bubble teams that don't make it in the NCAA tournament. And that's what we're talking about. You're talking about bubble teams. Don't be a bubble team. How do you not be a bubble team? Don't lose more games than you should. Because then, as Dana White always says, don't leave it into the hands of the judges. Georgia didn't do that. They won the SEC. Oregon didn't do that. Hell, Penn State, they were one loss going in to the Big Ten title game against Oregon. So they have 2 losses, Ohio State and Oregon. That's not bad. That's not bad. And you want to bitch because Boise State's in there? They're the G5 representative, the top ranked G5 team and a champ. 1 loss. They too lost to Oregon, and that's it. Well, they didn't really play anybody. Neither did Texas. They played Georgia. Same result as when Boise State played Oregon. Same result. They got lit up. They lost twice to that team. They didn't even win their conference. Boise State did. Well, they didn't have to go against Georgia. No, they didn't have to go against Oregon either. But that's the way it's set up. No one's invited Boise State into the power ranks. It's not their fault. They'd go to the SEC. They would go to the Big Ten or the Big 12 or the ACC. If they ever got invited. They haven't, and they won't. So the only thing they can do is beat the shit out of everybody they play. And they've done that all year long, except for one team, Oregon. And by the way, Oregon has lost to nobody. Nobody. So what? What? What are you pissing and moaning about? What are you bitching about? Well, these teams got blown out. They don't deserve to be in. Well, neither does Tennessee. That was embarrassing. They looked like a G5 school. Ohio State dispatched them and made them look. They looked like, Northern Illinois. They looked like UTSA playing Ohio State. Memphis would have had about the same showing. Tulane, Army would have had the same showing as Tennessee. Any of those teams can go in there and get embarrassed and get smoked and get their ass whooped, just like Tennessee did. None of those teams are in the playoffs, are they? No. Army's got 1 loss to Notre Dame. That's it. They are a conference champ. Did they get in? No. They wanted Tennessee. So, if we're going to use the logic, oh, you got blown out, you didn't deserve to be here. Tennessee didn't deserve to be there then. Look at that blowout. They got their ass whooped. Their ass whooped. Their ancestors felt that. Peyton Manning, probably broke his back. Probably broke his shoulder again. That win was so bad, it probably shaved some years off that man's life. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, all these idiots. Well, I guess they shouldn't be in the team. They're lower seeds. They're lower seeds. Oh no, home teams won. Home teams won. Shut up. Just shut up. It's embarrassing. All these people that talk about college football, embarrassing, stupid. It's a 12-team playoff. You're getting closer to what it is in the NFL. You need the G5 in this bitch. You need them in there. You need those eyeballs. Well, there's enough eyeballs in the SEC. There's enough eyeballs in the Big Ten. Your media partners want more than that. They want Big 12. They want ACC. And yes, they want the G5 eyeballs as well. That's why they get one team. They get one. Their top, best ranked team gets in. And I will be cheering loudly for Boise State. And they got their hands full with Penn State. For all the talk about Notre Dame. Oh, there's a lot of people. Oh, you remember that shit? Well, Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be in. They didn't play nobody. Well, they played somebody now and they whooped their ass. Indiana. Well, this is Indiana. Indiana was one loss. One loss regular season. One loss to Ohio State. There's no shame in losing to Ohio State. You want to beat them, obviously. But damn, that's one of the best teams in the country that you lost to. You didn't lose to some dog shit. You know, you didn't lose to Oklahoma 24-3. You didn't lose to Vanderbilt. You lost to Ohio State. So did Indiana deserve to be in? Yeah, but they kind of earned their way in. They earned their way in. 11-1, bitches. And yeah, at some point your record has to matter. What about strength of schedule? This ain't basketball. I'm tired of that. Let's go to the strength of schedule. Let's go to the strength of schedule. What's your record, bitch? Because I don't care who you beat. If you're losing every other game, shut up. Anyway, that's all I got on this crap. And I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.